Legend has it that a long time ago there lived in the Venezuelan plains a young man who was nicknamed Silbón because he whistled while he walked. He was a spoiled and capricious young man to the extreme, accustomed since he was a child to be pleased in everything. He spent his life going from bar to bar, wasting his time. One day when he was at his parents' house, sitting at the table for lunch, he was filled with rage and anger when he saw that they were serving him food that he did not like. In an act of contempt and with extreme arrogance, he threw the food on the floor, saying that he wanted to eat asaduras de venado, Venezuelan dish made with the viscera of the deer. He got up from the table and left the house, full of anger, to calm his rage with liquor in the canteen of the town. His father, who was a noble and obliging man, prepared his shotgun and hunting knife and set off into the jungle to look for the venison to please his rebellious son. But in spite of his skill and knowledge in hunting, it was impossible for him to capture the precious animal. After several hours and at nightfall, the father decided that that day was enough and started to return home. In the meantime, the young whistler, who had been drinking for several hours and had become totally addicted to alcohol, decided to go home. On the way back, he met his father, who was returning from the failed hunt, who tried to explain to him why he had not been able to catch the deer he wanted so much. Without listening to reason, and in the midst of his drunkenness, the young man brutally beat his father. When he fell to the ground, he took the hunting rifle and shot him dead. Immediately afterwards, he took the hunting knife and skillfully pulled out his father's entrails, packed them in a piece of his shirt, and left for home. When he got home, he gave the offal to his mother, who asked him where he had gotten it from, to which he replied, without any regrets, that they were his father's because that loser was not able to get the deer offal he wanted. So he took them from him. Faced with such terrifying news, his grandfather was filled with rage and tied him to a tree, where in reprimand for his evil acts, he whipped him. Then the grandfather put salt and hot bell pepper on his wounds so that he would writhe in pain. Then the grandfather condemned his grandson to carry his father's bones in a sack for eternity. When he died, the boy became a soul in pain, who found refuge in the solitude of the plains. His strange whistling sound, which served as a warning to his victims, gave him the nickname by which everyone knows him. Do not dare to walk alone at night in the plains, and if you hear it, run for your life. When this sound is heard very close, it means that the being is far away from you. But when the whistling is perceived very far away, lost among the dust and the light sounds of the plains, is when you should be most afraid. The being is so close that it could be the last thing you hear in your life.